Kids be going back to school. Governor DeWine set a new possible date today. Also, the experts have a new estimate on when they believe the coronavirus will peak.
Essential versus non-essential businesses. You have a lot of questions as to who can stay open. Our legal analyst answers those questions and tells you how you can report a business you think is breaking the law. Plus, what's old is new again. We'll tell you which old school activities are back in fashion now that social distancing is in place.
Plus, with everybody home now for the foreseeable future, our expert will tell us how to get your workspace and your kids' workspaces organized. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Betsy Kling. Jay Crawford is joining us from home today, and we're all continuing to learn and adjust to our new normal. And Jay, we are standing by once again for President Trump to give us his daily update on the coronavirus. But while we wait, I hope you could give us an update on what we've been learning today.
I certainly can, Betsy. And for starters, we've learned that our kids will be out of school for much longer than the 3 weeks initially ordered by Governor Mike DeWine. That's because things are changing so rapidly. Today, the governor said that new date of opening the schools is tentatively set for May 1st. But let's stress tentatively. He promises to reevaluate the situation as we get closer to that date. And our cases statewide continue to grow. Yesterday, we had just over 1,600 positive cases of the coronavirus. Today, that number stands at 1,933. So far, the virus has claimed 39 Ohioans. And that includes a Huron County Board of Health member. Today, the Public Health Department announced Bill Knapp died from the coronavirus yesterday. He's been on the board for 20 years there. He was in his 70s and did have underlying health issues. Knapp was the first person to die in Huron County from the virus. Well, the one thing we have learned about the coronavirus as we have been in this fight so far is that things change very rapidly. And with that in mind, Dr. Amy Acton today changed her prediction for when she believes Ohio will hit the peak of the virus. And for more on that, let's bring in Laura Queso. She's been following that story. Laura, hello.
Hi, Jay. Yeah, and we keep hearing about projections and predictions when it comes to peak. Well, Dr. Amy Acton and Governor DeWine today saying that we could see peak in a couple of weeks now. They're talking about mid-April to late April. However, it's important to note here that this depends on how successful we are at social distancing. The governor and Dr. Acton said we could push that out. And there are two reasons why we want to do that. One, so we can increase our PPE. I'm talking masks, gloves, face shields, etc. And also to give our hospital systems more time to expand.
Right now, it shows you that, for instance, we're at 54% occupancy across, it varies by hospital, on our med-surg beds that are in current use. 30% of our ventilators currently are in use. Now, we need to free up all the way up to 100% and then go up to 200% is our goal.
She says that no hospital system in the world could have predicted or taken on coronavirus. She also talked about the importance and how proud she is to wear that white coat. Of course, today is National Doctors Day and a good time to thank colleagues, to thank your family and your friends on the front lines. Of course, Jay, saving so many lives. We'll hear more from Governor DeWine and also Acton coming up for you at 6.
Absolutely. Laura, thank you very much. We'll see you then. Now, speaking of Dr. Acton, Russ Mitchell will sit down with her tomorrow. And if you have questions for Dr. Acton, you can get them to her. Send them our way on any of our social media platforms. Just use the hashtag 3AskActon. The interview will air tomorrow night at 6 and 11. Betsy?
Thank you, Jay. Well, now on your feet at 5, here in Northeast Ohio, a number of companies are stepping up and shifting production to make personal protective equipment for our frontline healthcare workers. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski talked with some of them today.
It's really cool to see these local companies stepping up and switching gears in such a short amount of time to not only help our first responders, but also to keep hundreds of workers employed. Now, Pete Graham Dunn, with locations in Canton and Dalton, normally manufactures art and home decor. While Laird Plastics, with 4 Ohio locations, typically manufactures and distributes plastics. Now both are producing plastic face shields designed to provide an extra layer of protection for our healthcare workers.
Right, it's an elastic band. It's a clear face shield with a foam piece on the top for your forehead. And so it's not that complicated. It just needs to get out and get out as fast as possible. So we set the prototype. Once we set the prototype, then it became easier for us to scale up to produce a lot of them.
We still have quite a bit of hand assembly that's done. And in this case, we were able to convert our current hand assembly lines into lines that are producing the PPE.
And right now, P. Graham Dunn is working on an order assembling 85,000 face shields. Meanwhile, Laird's Plastics, which has 20 of their 40 locations around the country producing face shields, expects to produce 1.5 million by the end of the week. Rachel Plansky, 3 News.
Kind of cool to see our local folks getting in on that action. Well, thousands of employees from Amazon and grocery delivery service Instacart are striking today because they want extra pay and protective equipment such as masks and gloves during the coronavirus pandemic. Instacart handles deliveries from nearly every food and drug store in Northeast Ohio and across the country. And Amazon, well, we know them. They service millions of customers. So any disruption of service, especially during this time, would not only be inconvenient, but it could be life-threatening, especially for those who fall in high-risk groups. Amazon workers want paid sick time. Right now, only those who have tested positive for the virus or are on mandatory self-quarantine can get that. Amazon workers also want their warehouse to be closed for a longer cleaning. Employees from both companies also want better pay to offset the risks they say they're taking.
Because the pay from Instacart is so low that no one in their right mind would take the orders. In the best of times, eventually someone takes all the orders, but the system is overwhelmed now, and the majority of the orders are just not worth us taking with the risks that are involved.
Well, both companies are saying they have upgraded safety measures in the work environments, and Instacart said it made its own hand sanitizer for workers in order to deal with the shortage. Still, if enough employees walk off the job, that could be a very, very tough situation for a lot of folks. Well, there are other delivery services that are available. Some of them are specific to us right here in Northeast Ohio. And consumer investigator Danielle Serena will have those for you at 6 on What Matters Most. Jay?
Well, Betsy, as additional cases are confirmed, we're starting to learn more and more about how this virus is impacting certain demographics, particularly the young. University Hospital's pediatric infectious disease specialist, Dr. Amy Edwards, says they really don't have the full answers, but she's working with the group to learn more. She thinks compared to China, the U.S. has actually seen a higher rate of hospitalizations of people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. But for now, the reason as to why remains a mystery.
It does still seem to be true that in the vast majority of cases, kids do fine. We still, as far as I can tell, the numbers are still accurate that up to 90% of kids are either going to be mild or asymptomatic.
But there have been pediatric deaths, and Dr. Edwards says they're still trying to sort out the details in those cases. Were there pre-existing conditions in those patients, or is something else going on? Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to dig into what different models are saying about when this virus might peak. Betsy?
Well, let's check in with Russ now for another look at the headlines that are happening today. Hi there, Russ. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, Betsy, and good afternoon, everybody. Kent State is letting students know about refunds now that they are studying remotely. Residential and parking fees will be refunded on a prorated basis. Students with all-you-can-eat meal plans will get a refund for the swipes they had left. Balances will carry over to next semester for students who paid by the item. All refunds will be issued by April 30th. The Tokyo Olympics will take place next year in the same time slot scheduled for this year. The opening ceremony will now be on July 23rd, 2021, and close on August 8th. And university hospitals and the Cleveland Clinic have now updated their testing protocols for COVID-19 to prioritize first responders. They'll now have access to immediate testing to protect them and the public while doing their jobs. Not a bad idea there. All right, Betsy, I'll see you at 5:30.
All right, thanks so much, Russ. Appreciate it. Well, this morning, Cuyahoga County officials announced there have been 312 complaints filed about businesses staying open when they are not considered essential. We've been getting a lot of questions about what is an essential business. So our legal analyst, Stephanie Haney, is here with some answers. Stephanie, what should people do if they want to report a business that may be breaking the rules?
There's a lot of confusion about this, Betsy, and the short answer to that is you want to report that to your most local health officials. So there's been some question about that. Police departments are also taking reports, but that is not the preferred thing to do. And if you are calling a police department, if you're having difficulty for some reason getting through to your city or more local public health officials, which you shouldn't have an issue getting through, but if you do not call the emergency line. Do not call 911. You need to be calling the non-emergency line. And also want to point out here, there's a two-prong approach to what you can be reporting here. You can be reporting businesses that you think aren't essential, that are still operating, but also any business, an essential business that might not be following those protocols that have been laid out by the guidelines, that safe 6-foot distance and so forth.
All right, so then if somebody is deemed non-essential and they're open and they get busted, what are the penalties for them?
So it's the departments of health that are enforcing this. So first and foremost, these health officials have told me that they want to educate people. So that's the first thing that's going to happen. They're going to try and remedy that situation. Now, once you move past that, the departments of health, the boards of health in these local areas, they do have the authority to close your business. And then if necessary, if there's any kind of pushback or anything there, that's when you're going to get into the criminal charges here. And that's when the local prosecutors do have the authority to charge you with a 2nd-degree misdemeanor. That's going to land you in jail for 90 days and also a fine of $750, or one or the other, but could it be both?
Well, it's a tough call with so many people out of work. I know it's definitely a lot of juggling that's happening. So just use common sense, everybody. We keep saying that, but you kind of go back to old school for that. Stephanie, thank you. Well, what's new at 5? Well, what's old? That's what's new. Classic activities that are making a comeback during the pandemic. Plus, it's National Doctors Day. How many of you are paying tribute to our brave doctors on the front lines? And Matt, it's been a little cloudy out there today, but we're looking up, aren't we? Hi there, Matt.
Well, hi there, Betsy. Hi there, everybody. A cloudy day outside, notably cooler as well. And the reason why is this big old low pressure swirling across the Plain States, but that moves on out, and we've got a warm up in the forecast. We'll detail it coming up.
Mike.